Hello Escapers, 9HP here with an extremely exciting and life-changing update for the Skiller peer community in RuneScape 3. On September 25th, 2021, Mod Stu posted this Reddit post for a concept to allow players to reset their defense XP now that the ancient curses no longer give 29 defense from its quest rewards. Mod Stu did not know it then, but this would shortly lead to the Skiller peer community flooding the thread with hundreds of concepts for a rework to all combat skills, not only being able to have the option of being reset, but also allowing these account builds to permanently block combat XP entirely. Now, what most players did not know was that Jagex had already been brainstorming these concepts months prior. As you can see from this Discord post sent to me by a JMod who will remain anonymous, a player by the name Tranquil reached out to Mod Stu and took it upon themselves to create a Discord server to better create a solution for Mod Stu to not only bring up a proposal to his team at Jagex, but to also get a better understanding of Skiller peers' feedback on the matter altogether. Creating voting polls based on hundreds of Skiller peers' feedback over the last 2 months, making this update possible while still keeping the integrity of the Skiller peer builds intact. Over the months, these hundreds of great minds came up with what I would consider a very solid proposal. Anyways, the polls for voting were closed on December 6th, which now brings us to the final votes. Alright, so now that we have the final votes in and voting is closed, we can use all the votes below here to have our final skill peer accommodations minimalist proposal that will be presented to the combat team by Mod Stu. Now remember, nothing in this is for certain, hence the word proposal. So when we click on the link, you'll see two important sections, 1, XP blocking, and 2, skill resets. First off, we're obviously going to dive into XP blocking. As a player that wants to keep certain skills at their minimal level, aka skillers and peers, I am able to block XP in specific skills so I can customize my experience, challenge myself in new ways, and benefit from the peace of mind that I cannot get XP in combat. Acceptance criteria. I believe obviously the criteria that is going to be presented to the combat team. By talking to Nastroth and Lumbridge, the player can toggle off Give XP, aka XP from training skills, and Give XP rewards, which is XP rewards from completing quests, challenges, etc., individually from every skill. When the player toggles off Constitution XP, they are warned that they will still get Constitution XP from combat. If a player has toggle off Give XP/Give XP rewards in a skill, they will not receive the expected XP. Adjacent scripts will run as normal, meaning the players will still get the message, you have been awarded X XP in X combat skill, from the challenge system when they complete a daily challenge, even if they didn't get the XP. Toggling off Constitution blocks Give XP rewards of Constitution, but does not block Give XP of Constitution. More so meaning that players can differentiate those who risk their accounts from those who toggle off XP. The text, quote-unquote, block XP, is appended to a player's combat level tooltip at the bottom of their player examine skills window if they've ever blocked XP. Which I'm not for certain if they would allow that to be set to private or not, but either way, I actually like this. And moving on to part 2, skill resets. As a player who has quote-unquote ruined my account by leveling up a skill, I can, within reasonable limits, reset the skill back to its minimal level, so that I can continue playing my specialist build. And acceptance criteria, Nastroth's current Constitution and Prayer and Defense skill resets are removed, aka they haven't been maintained and put accounts into flawed states. So if a player's Constitution is 1155 to 1832 XP, aka last level 12 XP, then the player can ask Nastroth to reset Constitution to 1154 XP, but nothing else is reset. And now to get to the important part for my fellow 9HP peers. To accommodate 9HP peers created in the transition from Classic to RS, if the player's account was created before March 29th, 2004, aka when RS2 came out, Nastroth will reset Constitution to 969 XP, start of level 9. That is actually incorrect, it is 1000 even, but I'm nitpicking, my bad. Moving on. If any other skill the player chooses is 1 XP to 1153 XP, which is the last level 9 XP, the player can ask Nastroth to reset the skill to 0 XP, start of level 1. And again, nothing else is reset. Nastros quote-unquote never reset my skills option is removed, i.e. if any player previously opts to hide Nastros quote, let's talk about skill resets, unquote option, they will be able to access Nastros' new, quote, minor skill reset. Above that, replace them. Resetting a skill costs 10 million GP and occurs immediately, since the player can now reset multiple skills that they no longer have to return to Nastroth in 7 days to activate a skill reset. Note that no content is reset, only the skills level. For security, requesting a skill reset requires the player to enter their bank pin, as you cannot reset skills without a bank pin. I personally feel like there should be a little grace period, even if it's only a week, but as you'll be able to do this every 6 months, if that's voted in, I suppose that's really not too big of a deal, and can't really harm anything, so it definitely works. And as I was talking above, why no give XP toggle for Constitution is not being added. Peers who have limited Constitution who engage in PvM have to use unique strategies to avoid gaining Constitution XP. The entire identity of Constitution limited builds, example 10 HP PvMers, level 3 skillers, is based on avoiding Constitution XP. Retaining this risk is important to the identity and integrity of these builds. Thus, the easiest way is by just not offering a toggle for Constitution XP so that the system cannot be abused. So the other combat skills are really easy to avoid gaining XP in, as they will be able to be toggled off, so the identity of builds who have limited attack, strength, defense, range, magic, prayer, summoning isn't based around avoiding XP in those skills, with of course always the few exception, so they would appreciate the option to block. And that is it. The depth that people went in through the proposal discussion and discussion summaries really went on forever. Obviously, it's not loading fast enough, but even when I get to the tip top, it just keeps going. With skillers and peers alike who are just very passionate about this and really allowed this idea to come to tuition without honestly ruining any integrity of playing a skiller or skiller peer. And of course, we can't go without a huge thank you to the man himself, Mod Stu, for offering us this opportunity. It is so amazing just to know that they're really counting skiller and skiller peer builds as a very important part of the game, and finally accepting us as an actual build, where they didn't so much before. And obviously a huge thank you to Tranquil for creating the RSXP discussion. He had to maintain this entire Discord thread, which I imagine was beyond hectic, but shows the true passion that he has for helping the skiller community, as does everyone else who joined this forum. As you can see, in order to prevent multiple voting or scam voting, players had to take a picture of their account name and their skills before being assigned a role. But as you can see, so many of you guys deserve a shout out for being a part of skiller history. Well, hopefully skiller history, that is. But overall, phenomenal job coming together, and I can't wait to share the voting results with you guys once they're posted, after Mod Stu has talked with the combat team, and whoever else at Jagex that would be assisting in this project. Anyways, that is going to do it for now. I will of course be following up and keeping everybody updated on this, as this is primarily a skiller channel, so definitely look forward to that in a hopefully soon upcoming video. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video. Apologies to any of my skiller followers who did not get to vote due to this being released too late, as my Discord tends to overwhelm my introverted side, and as this was only really advertised in the clan Discords, and not so much directly in either major skilling clan chats, I myself was only made aware of it a day before the voting polls closed, and thus was not able to release this any sooner. Thankfully, however, the dedication of our fellow skiller peer community and Mod Stu worked passionately to come up with a proposition I feel we can all be very much proud of. With that said, please be sure to let me know below in the comments what way you are voting and your overall feelings towards this possible future update. Happy scaping, and until next time, 9HP out.